Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki, Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Ganga Maya ki, Jamuna Maya ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi, Samaveda Bhakti Vinda ki, Sri Sri Kishore Kishori ki, Sri Sri Mahamahosari Srimati Radharani's appearance day ki, Yathai Gautamanandi. Glories to the assembled devotee, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Guru Chikaranga, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bow down to his lotus feet through the great reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna.
My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection to fulfill all desires. He opened my dark eyes and filled my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing with his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor and Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us a share of your lotus feet. Your famous pearl over the three words. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Shri Jai. Shri Radhastami Mahamahotsava ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Happy Radhastami to everybody. Today, this morning we're going to have the auspicious event of initiations. His Holiness Chandramauli Swami will give initiation to some devotees. So the program will start at 8. Is that right, Maharaj? That's the schedule. And so we're preparing right now for the fire yajna. So I will say we can have kirtan while we wait, Maharaj. Some, where is this boy? Yeah, do some kirtan for the time being, and then at 8 we can come in the temple and participate in this auspicious program. Thank you.
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pastatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol. Gaur Premanande.
I think it's better if this is on this side. Yeah. Do we have sheets for Brahma Samhita for everyone? Okay. Begin? Okay.
First you do asana. Take a bit of water, the right palm. As we are chanting the mantras, you can look at the water and read the chant. Om
Apavitro Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Tato Piva Yasmare Pundarikaksham
Shabaya Abhyantara Chishihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Om Keshavaya Namaha. You can sit. You can purify your hand.
Wash.
So we will repeat 2 more times. Om Apavitro Pavitro Va Sarvavastam
कतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षम् शबय अभ्यांतर जुषिः श्रीविष्णो श्रीविष्णो श्रीविष्णो। ओम नारायणाय नमः। So what should I have? Last time. ओम अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थां गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं शाधय अभ्यांतर जुषिः श्रीविष्णो श्रीविष्णो श्रीविष्णो। ओम माधवाय नमः।
ओम माधवाय नमः। Sri Bhamra Samhita. So everyone follow together. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anarya Arya Govinda Sarvakarna Karanam Chintamari Prakata Satma Sukhampa Vriksham Laksavitesha Surabhi Palyaviyantam Lakshmi Sarasya Satasambhama Sevyamanam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kanantam Aravinda Dalataksam Bhagavatassamasitam Burasumvarangam Kandharpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Sobham Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasarvanamaya Vamsi Radnagadam Bhayanakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vitimanti Pasyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sarujvala Vigrahasya Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Anantarupam Adhyam Puram Puram Vishaunavayauvancha Vedesya Dulam Apadulam Atma Bhakto Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Satavatsara Sampradamyo Vayo Yatapi Manaso Punipungavanam Sopyasti Yapapavasim Avachintya Tattve Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekyopyaso Vachiyatam Jagananda Kotim Yakshakshayastra Jagarananta Chayayarantam Andantarastam Paramantu Charantarastam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavita Diyo Munitastataivam Sampapya Rupa Hamadimaya Sayana Bhusha Suktaya Eva Nigama Patitastuvanti Govindam Hari Purusham. Anand Chinmay Rasasa Pratibhavitabhis Tavirya Eva Nitarupat Akalabi Goloka Eva Nisaat Kita Atma Bhutto Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintu Gura Sarupam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramari Murti Kalkalani Yamena Tishtam Nanavataram Akaro Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramam Pananyo Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Paravadho Jagananda Koti Koti Swasesha Vasadari Vibhuti Bindham Tad Brahma Niskalamananta Ashesha Bhutam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagananda Satani Sutai Trigunyata Visaya Veda Vitavamanam Sadvavalambi Parasatvam Visuddha Sattvam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Samatya Manani Asu Yatvanina Pratifalam Smaratam Upetya Lila Itena Bhuvanani Jagatjayasvam Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanami Jagaram Tare Tatasya Devi Mahesha Haridamu Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhava Nichaya Vihitaschayena Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Sristi Stiti Paya Sarana Sakti Eka Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibhakti Durga Ichchami Rupam Apayasya Chachestate Sa Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yata Dahi Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahi Tata Piti Asti Heto Yat Sambhutam Apitata Samupaitya Kariyat Govindam Hari Purusham Diparchi Eva Hita Santharmapyupetya Dipaite Vivita Hetu Samara Dharmam Yastadriyeva Hicha Vishnutaya Vivati Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakaya Navachalaiva Tasmasa Yogam Nidram Ananta Jagarananda Saroma Kupam Andhara Shakti Avalambya Paraswamurtim Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasyaikami Svasikala Abhitavalambya Jivanti Loma Vijagad Jaganandanatha Vishnu Mahansaya Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vaswan Yatasma Sakaleshu Nijeshu Teja Sriyam Kiya Prakatayat Yapitava Atra Brahmaya Esha Jagannath Itirana Karta Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विदधानकुम्भं द्वन्द्वे प्रणारसमये गगनारिराजम् विघ्नवहं तु अमलस्य जगन्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमारिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आग्नेयमहागण अम्बमरुदियश्च कालास्तथापि मनसि जगत्त्रयाणि यस्मं भवन्ति विभवन्ति विसन्ति यं च गोविन्दमारिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यच्चक्षुरेष सवितं सकलाभ्यहारं राजसमस्तसुरमूर्तिमशेषतेज यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति संवृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमारिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि धर्मतपापनिचया श्रुतयास्तपंसि ब्रह्मारिकीर्तथगुरवदयाश्च जीवम् यदातमत्र विभव प्रकथा प्रभावात् गोविन्दनाथं तमहं भजामि यस्त्विन्द्रगोपमवहेन्द्राहो स्वकामम् बन्धानुरूपफलभाजन्मात्तनोति कामानि दीर्घहति किञ्चित् भक्तिभाजम् गोविन्दं हरिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यं क्रोरकामसहजापनयारिदीति वात्सायगमोहगुरगौरवसेव्यभावाय सञ्चित्यथस्य सरिसं धनु आपरेथे गोविन्दमारिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रियाकान्ता परमो पुरुषो कल्पतरभो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गानमयि त्वयम् अमृतम् कथागानं नत्यङ्गनमपि वंशी प्रिया सखी चिरानंद ज्योति परम आपितर अस्वद्यम अपि च सयत्र सुरभीर श्रवतीर सुरभीयाश्च सुमहं निमेषैदौख्यवा वजति नहि तयात्रापि समये पाजै श्वेताद्वीपं तमहम् इहं गोकुलमित्यहं वदन्तस्ते शीताक्षरया कथप्रिये ईश्वर परमा कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनार्य गोविंद सर्वकर्ण कारणम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानार्जनशलाकया चक्षु उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदं मह्यं ददाति स्वं पदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सर्वदूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीकृष्णपदं सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखं वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कंत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुति देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। Vancha kalpatarubhischa kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaho namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Sunyavari Pastyatya Desitarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mayadavase Kachubese Kachubo Bububan Jeep Krishna Das E Vishwash Kolina Adukanai. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, life after life, the living entity, Karanam Guna Sangosho Sarasa Jona Shanmishu. The living entity in the material tabernacle, wandering from three levels of existence, sometimes in the higher planets as a demigod, sometimes on this earth planet as a human being, or lower, sometimes in the lower planetary systems. Unlimited numbers of births that the living entity takes in this material world. Finally there is some light. That light is that one starts to understand, what is the purpose of life? Why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to take birth? Why do I have to die? And why do I have to experience misery? When one begins to ask these questions, that is the beginning of one's success in the human form of life. The human form is rare. It's not a species of life that is very common. It's mentioned in the Shastras there are 8,400,000 species of life. And out of those 8,400,000, only 400,000 are human. And out of the 400,000, very few of those species are actually civilized human forms of life. So to come to this human form of life, we might even say, in an advanced form of human life, is very rare. But even rarer is to come to the point where you are now. It's so rare that Srila Prabhupada wanted to emphasize just how rare it is to come to Krishna consciousness, or we might say to come to the process of pure devotional service. Can you sit a little bit on the side so your back's not against? Yeah, thank you. You can still sit there, but a little crossways, yeah, like that. Good. Yeah, we shouldn't have our backs to the Lord. And this rarity was illustrated by Srila Prabhupada in one example. He said there is a huge, vast body of water, an ocean. And in that ocean, there's a frog somewhere in that ocean. And in that ocean, there is also a log floating. But in that log, there's a hole. Sometimes we call it a knothole. And that frog decides to surface, come out of the water and come up. He just happens to come through that hole in that log, in that vast ocean. Very few people actually make it a point to try to understand the purpose of life and then to actually try to achieve the purpose of life. It's very rare. It's very rare. It says in every birth, one gets a mother and one gets a father. But how rare it is that one actually comes to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord in devotion by accepting the Lord's representative, the bona fide spiritual master. So rare. It's so rare. So we want to congratulate you for coming to this stage. It's not something, sometimes we minimize how important this is because it seems to go on, but it's very, very rare. And to go back home, back to Godhead is even rarer. Because many people take up the process, and very few can actually achieve the goal of the process. But it's possible, especially in this age, there's a special concession, and that is called Gaura's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Karuna Avatar, Namo Mahavadanaya, Krishna Prema Padayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namani Gaura Triste Namaha. Lord Chaitanya has made the process that is so difficult, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that very few can actually attain to devotional service, and those who actually attain to it, very few actually reach the goal of devotional service. But Mahaprabhu has made it easy. We use that word in a very clear way. He's made it easy. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. And make that your main activity in devotional service. Make that the essence of everything you do, centers around to the glorification. If we do that, then the path of devotional service moves swiftly towards its ultimate goal. So we are very fortunate to be. How rare it is to take birth at the time of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes once in every 1,000 yuga cycles. So that is 4,320,000,000 years Mahaprabhu appears. So he won't appear for another 4,320,000,000. And also, Krishna comes at the end of Dwapara Yuga in the same yuga cycle. So both of them don't very often come to this particular earth planet which we are on. So that is special gift to live at this particular time, because the process is easy. When Srila Prabhupada was in Atlanta, Georgia, he came. It was a very crowded temple. The devotees had come from all over the United States to see Srila Prabhupada. And in that temple, the main deities are Gaura Nitai. They sit on the middle altar. On the right altar is Radha and Krishna, and at that time there was no third altar. There was just an empty space. Now they have Jagannath. But still, if you go to that temple, you'll see Gaura Nitai is still in the middle, and Radha Krishna is on the right. And Prabhupada sat down, and he started to speak about Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, being inspired by their presence. He said a few words, and then he couldn't speak anymore. His voice started to choke up with emotion. He closed his eyes and remained silent. And devotees could see tears coming down his cheek. The silence seemed like years, but it was only a few moments. The entire temple was completely quiet, just absorbed in Prabhupada's ecstasy and love for Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And then he opened his eyes and he says, these two lords are so merciful. They are so merciful. And he still couldn't speak. And he said, just have kirtan. And that was Prabhupada's lecture. His ecstasy. And usually Srila Prabhupada wouldn't do that. He would always try to restrain any kind of emotional expression in public, because he knew people wouldn't understand, or people might take it cheaply and try to imitate something like that. So Prabhupada was very aware not to do that, but sometimes the emotion was too much and he couldn't control, and he would just express that. So in this particular case, we get a little deeper understanding of how merciful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Very, very merciful. And so, coming to this platform, or coming to this point of devotion, by accepting the position of a disciple and engaging in devotional service. The process is easy. The material energy is tough. And that's what makes the process seem to be so difficult. It's not the process. As Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is so easy, you'll miss it. In other words, it's so simple. Chant Hare Krishna. Offer your food to the Lord in devotion and accept that as your foodstuffs. And come to the temple, associate with others who are doing the same thing, and make your life perfect. That's pretty much the essence of devotional service. That. Center it around chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and associating with devotees. These are the two most important parts. Now, associating with devotees does not mean being in the arena where there's so many devotees. That is not the understanding or the definition. Association in the devotee means to be in the mood of wanting to serve the devotees. When you're in wanting to serve the devotees, then you're in the association of devotees. Like that, because the mood is to serve. Like that. So Prabhupada would sometimes use the example, a flea is sitting on the king, and the king is sitting on the throne. So you might say the flea is also sitting on the throne. But nobody worships the flea. And nobody even knows the flea is there, but he's there. What's his relationship with the king? Nothing. And the throne? Nothing. So to associate actually means to be in the mood of service. And that actually brings about the awareness of how important devotional association is. It is so rare. Nowadays, in this particular social environment we find ourselves in, association has been somewhat restricted, but still, we can still find opportunities to come together in different ways and associate and chant the glories of the holy name and inspire each other in Krishna consciousness. We need association. You can't make it in this process without association. It's very, very essential. It's foundational, actually. And it was Lord Chaitanya's main principle for teaching. There are 5 main principles in devotional service: to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to associate and serve the devotees, to worship the Lord in His deity form, Archavigraha, to hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam every day, and to live in a sacred place, a holy place. That means a temple or some holy place. If your home has deities and you're worshiping the deities, that is also a holy place. So these are the 5 principles that are emphasized by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but out of the 5 he emphasized 2. And the 2 was to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and to associate with and serve the Vaishnavas. These are the 2 that he put so much emphasis on. But then he added another one. Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions it in one beautiful song. He called it Jivadoya. Jivadoya. And Jivadoya means to show concern about others who are not in Krishna conscious and try to somehow or other give them an opportunity to come forward. In other words, sometimes we use the word preaching, but it's not, that word is limited. It means just to be concerned about trying to help others, bring them closer, whatever way you find that you are, inclined to do that. There are many ways. So we thank you all for, thank you all the devotees here. I would also like to extend a message to all the assembled devotees that are here, that those of you who are not initiated, who haven't come to this stage yet, consider this to be a step in your life. Because tad vigya gurum eva abhigatsche. Prabhupada uses that word abhigatsche. It means must. The process of attaining Devotion to the Supreme Lord means to accept Krishna's representative as one's guide on the path back to the lotus feet of the Lord. That is a requirement. So we have to see what we need to do to come to that stage to qualify ourselves. And again, by chanting and associating and serving devotees, we awaken that desire to become really fixed in the idea of devotional service. And then that is the goal of human life. There's no second goal. Whatever goals we also have in this world to achieve, whether it's family success, business success, or just longevity of life, whatever it is, these are supportive. They are not the main goal. The main goal is to prema pumartha mahan, to develop our love for Krishna. Loving Krishna is not something you have to develop, it's something you have to awaken. It's there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Saruka Bunai Sravanadi Siddhi Chitte Koriye Udoy. In the hearts of all living entities, pure love for Krishna is there. No matter what species of life you see, they are all parts and parcels of Krishna, and in that soul, within that body, there is pure love for Krishna. And so to awaken that, to bring it to the forefront of our life, is the success of life. Because when you attain love for Krishna, you've got everything. There's nothing left to achieve. It's perfect. And we all know that. Because love is the highest emotion, and when it's directed towards Krishna, it extends itself out to each and every living entity. You want to love everyone? Love Krishna. Because Krishna is called Mula. He is the root or the foundation for all of existence. Aham Vida Pada Prita. He is the seed-giving father of all living entities. So as we develop our love for Krishna, naturally we start to develop natural love for each and every living entity, because everyone is connected to Krishna eternally. So again, thank you very much for coming forward and taking this step in life. It's an example for everyone to see that how important this is in making the human life successful. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, the process is that we'll call one by one, and you offer your full dandavats to Srila Prabhupada, putting your head in that direction, your feet in this direction. You offer your pranams, then you get up, go around this way, go in front of the altar, and just once in front of all three deities, you offer your pranams there, and then you come here and offer pranams again 3 times. And each time you chant the full mantra of Srila Prabhupada, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Bhutale, Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine, Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine. And you speak the mantra loud. This is actually a standard in our society. We somehow have forgotten that when you go down and offer obeisances, the mantra is supposed to be spoken out loud and not silently. Okay, and then so we'll start. You want to call the initiates up, or should I do that? Okay. All right, we'll go in order. So first we'll have Srinivas Prabhu. Okay. So offer your respects to Srila Prabhupada. And do we have a second microphone here? Yeah, okay. Hare, no, we can chant japa while he's doing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Microphone. What of the four regulative principles?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. The four regulative principles are no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
No onion, no garlic.
No onion, no garlic.
Okay. No tea, no coffee.
No tea, no coffee.
Okay. How do you go? No chai. No. And you promise to chant at least 16 rounds every day on beats without fail?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I do.
We say at least. That's not maximum. That's minimum. So, there's a beautiful pastime that centers around his name, Srinivas. He has been given a beautiful name. It's hard to change that name. It's one of the greatest acharyas in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnava. But Srinivas was born in a place called Jajigram. And his birth was not an intention by his parents. His father heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Katwa. The Lord was going to Katwa to take sannyas initiation. So crowds were going, they were going. So he decided to go. And when he was watching the ceremony, this is the father of Srinivas, he was overwhelmed. And then he heard that Lord Chaitanya got the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So, and then when he heard it, he couldn't stop chanting it. He kept saying, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna. He couldn't stop. And then when he came back to his village in Jajigram, he was still chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So they changed his name to Chaitanya Das. And then, after some time, his wife and him decided, not they didn't decide, but they both went to sleep one night, and they both had the same dream. And the dream was, have a son. And when they woke up, they compared their dreams, and at that time, they decided to have a son, and that was Srinivas. So your new name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Is that all right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu ki. And we have Lavanya. I can give you a second name if you want another name. Is that all right? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. So what are the 4 regulative principles of freedom?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, I'll follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
And you would agree to chant at least 16 rounds every day on beats without fail?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, at least 16 rounds minimum.
Thank you very much. No coffee, no tea, no onions, no garlic, no television.
Guru Maharaj.
Okay. We're increasing the, your name, Lavanya, is so beautiful. That's a hard name to change. It actually means beautiful, the word Lavanya. So Srila Prabhupada had a very favorite disciple, which he gave this name to. And it's a beautiful name. It's a name of Srimati Radharani, but it's also a name that describes Srimati Radharani at the same time. The name means auspiciousness, the name means beautiful, the name means wonderful, and it's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam in so many ways. So your new name is Srimati Devi Dasi. I didn't change the meaning, because Lavanya and Srimati is the same meaning. Hare Krishna. I hope you like that name. I really like it. I think I like it more than you do. And Prabhupada named one of his disciples Srimati. And she was one of Prabhupada's person who did a lot of personal service for Srila Prabhupada also. So, Mother Shilpa, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So what are the four regulative principles of freedom?
So Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, the four regulative principles are no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Sometimes we say the four regulative principles are no meat eating, no fish eating, no tea, and no coffee. That's the four regulative principles. That's the modern day version. Okay, and no onions, garlic, TV?
No.
Okay. No late night movies?
No.
Okay. All right, so do you agree to chant at least 16 rounds every day on beads without fail?
Yes, I will agree to chant at least 16 rounds daily.
Mother Silpa comes from a wonderful family of Vaishnavas, so many devotees in that family. And so we're adding to the flowers of that already beautiful garden. Thank you. And she's one beautiful flower already, but now the fragrance will increase. So thank you for coming forward. This is a beautiful name of Srimati Radharani. Your new name is Braja Vilasini. It means Srimati Radharani, who is the enjoyer of Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? Anyone want sannyas here? No? No sun. Okay. Okay.
So we are going to chant the Mangalacharana. Like as we are chanting, please use these three fingers and take little bit of grains. And then like an offering from your heart, you just put it like that, don't throw it like this. Like gently put it, like these three fingers. So each time when we say Swaha, you put.
Don't throw it on the priest, throw it on in the fire.
Thank you, Maharaj. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Datati Swapatantikam Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते चंद्रमौली स्वामी इति नामिने स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती इति नामिने श्रीवासवानदी देवी दैताय कृपाप्तये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्ज्वाल प्रेमाद्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुद्ध अपसिद्धांत स्वांतहारिणे स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्ब प्रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः। स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुग वरायते स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। गौरवीर्भाव भूमे त्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जन प्रियः वैष्णव सर्वभौमो श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा 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 नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः स्वाहा 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 पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं स्वाहा 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 ये कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते स्वाहा 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 जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मंदा मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्व पदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहन स्वाहा 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 दिव्यात् वृन्दारण्य कल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमत् रत्नाकर सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमत् राधा शील गोविंद देव प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि स्वाहा 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 श्रीमान रास रसारंभी वंशी वत ततस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुर् स्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः स्वाहा 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 तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये स्वाहा 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 श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा स्वाहा 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 ओम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. So for the final offering, please get up with the banana in your hand, both the palms. And then when we say swaha, please gently put it in the fire, don't throw it.
The rest of the grains too?
Yes,
Plus
yeah, rest of the grains also you can put.
Don't throw it in the fire, place it gently into the fire.
Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanayitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha.
जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय श्री राधे
किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय
नमः ओम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रस्ताय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष गुणनाति पश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा चैतन्य
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Radhe 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Bolo Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Hare Krishna Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Bolo Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore, Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore, Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Nitai, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Radhastami Mahamahotsav ki, Shri Kishore Kishore ki, Srimati Radharani ki, Shri Gauranikai ki, Shri Jagannath Shri Baladev Srimati Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Sudarshan Chakra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Chandramauli Maharaj ki jai. Vanchakalpa Tubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Tithanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nice kirtan. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhus, Matajis. Congratulations to the initiated. May Kishore Kishori and Srimati Radharani give you a very beautiful life in devotional service in the service of your Guru Maharaj.